All right, thank you so much for joining. So today I am going to show you a light look, just kind of perfect for any day. But the kicker is that half of my face is going to be done using my hand and my fingers to apply the makeup. The other half of my face is going to be done using brushes, blending buds, just the proper tools. And I hope to show you that there is a significant difference not only in the amount of time it takes, but the look. And so let me know, cast your vote in the comments, which side do you think is going to look better? The side with the tools or the side with my fingers? So just like every day, we will get started. The first thing we're going to do is put on primer. As always, primer just kind of helps fill in any fine lines, wrinkles. It helps provide a barrier between your skin and the makeup so that your makeup sits on top of your skin and doesn't just soak in your skin throughout the day. So that is a definite plus. You don't need a whole lot, you can see. And let's see, what else does primer do for it? It keeps your makeup in place and just gives you a more flawless look all day. So now normally I do apply my primer with my fingers. I don't use a tool for this personally. You can, but I always make sure to wash my hands first before I start applying makeup. And so then I just make sure that it's clean. So that's just getting the primer on. So then next what we're going to do is we're going to put on eye primer. The reason you want to do your eye makeup before your face makeup is so that your primer, for one, has time to set, but also so should you get any fallout from your eyeshadow onto your cheeks or anything, then you're not messing up your foundation. So again, this is just usual. I put my eye primer on with my fingers. So for those of you who just joined, this isn't anything unusual yet at this point. But again, just make sure that your hands are clean when you are doing this. So if you're able to tune in live today, go ahead, say hi, drop me a 1 in the comments. I'm always trying to, like I said, find the best times to do the live videos. So I'd love for any feedback. Just like I said, say hi, let me know where you're tuning in from. I see there's a few people on, so I always enjoy that. Okay, so time for eyeshadow. So I'm going to do just a light look today, and I am going to be using this pretty color right here. So what I'm going to do, let's see. I'm right-handed, so this side of my face is going to be the hand side where I apply everything with my hands. I also have my makeup remover cloths out here, so I can use that. Hey, Jessica. Okay. So first things first, let's get just some of this on your fingers, right? Oh my gosh, you're in a hurry and you're just going to apply real quick with your fingers. All right. So as you can see already, I've gotten my eyeshadow out here, which, hey, like I said, that's why you put your foundation on after your eyeshadow, right? In case you get your eyeshadow out and around, and it's not very even as far as how it's blending. Okay, so then let me grab my brush here, this little sponge brush here, and do the other eye. You can see already how much smoother this goes on and how much more controlled it is. The other thing I'm noticing right away is I use less product to get the look. I also didn't get any down in here, whereas on this side I did. So just better control will definitely make a difference for you, of course, so that you will have less mess to clean up. All right. Okay. So the next what I like to do for this light look actually is just take my bronzer, and I like to use that in the crease. So let me get a little makeup remover cloth here. I just love these cloths because they're so soft. They're so soft. I love them. And they don't stink or like smell weird or anything, or sting, like your eyes or anything like when you're using them. So I like these. Okay. So just kind of wiping that off my fingers there. Okay. So then next I'm going to, I think I'll try my pinky finger because it's smaller. And I'm going to use this darker side of my bronzer here. Get some on my finger and just kind of apply that in the crease, sort of. This is definitely not as easy as you might think it is. Okay, so not really good, of course, for blending because I clearly have way too much on. So on this side, let's do the other side. I'm going to use this cute little tool. It's just the other end of this that I use to apply the color on my shadow. Tap off any extra and just lightly apply this right into the crease area. Now we will come back on both sides and blend, so don't worry about that yet. Okay, so definitely just, again, more control, lighter touch versus finger side where I don't have as much control. I clearly have too much on over here. Okay, next up, let's see, for my eye makeup, I'm going to add just a tiny bit of eyeliner, and this really doesn't have too much to do with your fingers because it is a pencil tool. But I like to add just a little bit, kind of where the your eye starts sloping down if you want to go with that look instead of going all the way across. Just adds a little bit different look. Start where your eyelid starts turning down and then just go to the outer corner there. Let me make sure I got that pretty good there. Yeah, I love this stuff because it just applies so easy. Okay. So then let's see, next up we'll do mascara. Get a little bit of that going on. And again, this won't be a huge difference because you can't really use any, your fingers to do this, but this will give you the idea for the complete look when we're finished here. Oh God, I love this mascara. I mean, seriously, look at that. Amazing. It's so easy to use, I don't even have to look at my little side mirror to put it on. I can look right in the camera with you guys, and then you get a close-up of it too, which I think is helpful for anybody that has like mascara questions. Oops, there we go. That's the other thing, it's super easy to wipe off. Okay, there, sorry. So the tip here would be if you needed to use, if you had any clumping at this point, you would want to use your eyelash comb now before applying any of these little fibers. Or if you don't use a mascara that has the little fibers, then you would just want to make sure that you comb out any clumps before the mascara dries. If you wait until the mascara is dried to comb out any clumps, just on a regular mascara, then you risk breaking your eyelashes off because then it has started to dry already. So just a little tip for you on that if you are using just a regular mascara. Okay. Another tip, swirl, don't pump. That pushes air and potentially bacteria into your tube, and that's not good for you or your mascara or your eyeballs. So just a heads up. Okay, let me check my side mirror here. There we go. I had to try to spread that out a little bit. Okay. That one is like super long, which is kind of cool. Okay. All right, next up, foundation. So this is going to be tricky, but I'm up for the challenge. Okay, so foundation. liquid foundation is very watery. As you can see how like thin that is. So the first tip is that you should not be using a sponge because sponges are just going to soak that up like a makeup wedge or anything like that. Don't mess with those. Okay, so let me again just kind of make sure my fingers are clean, and I am going to put this into my fingers here, or onto my fingers. I'm trying to do this so you guys can see it. Okay. So there we go. As you can see, it runs. Okay, so I'm just going to try to spread this around on my face. So it is not easy to control, of course, because it's so thin that you really need something with better control. Also, so it doesn't just like run off of your fingers. And I don't know if you can tell on the video, but it's certainly not as smooth looking by using my fingers. Okay, so that's the half with no brush or tool. And then on the other half, I am going to use a tool. This is a liquid foundation brush. It's meant for liquid foundation. Don't need a whole lot on there. And I like it because it's angled, and the shorter bristles here give you a little bit more control. It gives a little bit nicer look. Alright, so let's do this half. Oops. With my brush. It's obviously very quick to apply with a brush, which is nice. And you can get in close around the corners, you know, of your nose, your eyes, around your mouth. Just much, much easier. And blend down onto your neck a little bit, as always. Okay, so this side is the brush. This side is my fingers. So far, everything I'm noticing, I have more control with everything, and I can apply it quicker with this side. And I don't know how well you can tell on here, but this side is not giving as much coverage where I applied it with my fingers versus the side where I used the brush. I definitely get more coverage, and just more even coverage is really what it comes down to. It's more even. Okay, so again, wipe my hands off. See, would be the real like pain for me with using my fingers, is just like how much makeup you're getting on your hands. Okay, excuse me. All right, so next let's try eyebrows with the new eyebrow palette. So that's going to be fun. Let me get my brush for that. I actually think it's in my other bag, which means I would have to get up. Okay, bear with me. I'll be right back. Okay, so sorry. That's the joy of a live video though. Like, I thought I had everything set up already. Okay, but I didn't. I accidentally left that brush in the other room. Okay, So eyeshadow palette, we're gonna try to do brows without any tools, so that should be also exciting. So what you do, how you use the palette is you use the lighter color to fill in, you use the darker color to kind of shape, and then you can use these as your highlight colors, and this is a setting wax. So I don't even know how to try to do this, to be honest. Okay, well, we'll see. I've been letting my eyebrows grow out, if you will, because I'm going to have them reshaped. I got to a point where I wasn't doing a good job taking care of them, and they just kind of got out of whack. So, okay, see, already, I am getting it out of the area where it should be, and I'm getting it down here, and obviously that is not where it belongs. And the other problem with using your fingers for something like this is that I don't have a brush. Like, I don't have a way to like comb out my brows. So yeah, okay. Or even try to like shape them, really, because yeah, see, I'm getting the color down too far. See, try holding it different. This is gonna be so funny. I'm gonna do an after picture and you guys are gonna laugh about this. Okay, you cannot do your eyebrows without a tool. Like, let's just agree on that, because this looks like crap. It's just not, you just can't, okay? All right, so let me take that off, and then I'll add a little highlight, and then I'll go do the other side with tools, so you can actually see how nice it can look. Okay, so we'll add some highlight there. Oh, this is a mess. Okay. I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you like are getting a kick out of like how ridiculous this is, like drop like a funny face or a smiley face or something in the comments, because this is a little bit ridiculous. You know, trying to do makeup without the proper tools really is just not, it is not something I advise. Alright. Then what I like to do, as I am going through and filling them in, I like to just kind of recomb them every once in a while, and give them, you know, make sure I'm on track with where I'm placing the color, so that they look nice. Haha, hey Brian. Yeah, this is a hot mess trying to do half my face with makeup and half, or with my fingers and the other half with the correct tools. This is not, it's not going well. Which I mean, the reason I did this was because I kind of assumed it wouldn't go well. But I didn't realize how difficult it actually is to apply makeup when you don't have the right tools. Because now that I do have the right tools, I don't ever use my fingers anymore. So it's definitely makes a difference. Alright, so we'll just add, I'm going to add a little dark on the top there, just to help fill in. Like I said, I'm kind of growing my brows out to have them reshaped. So just kind of working with it, what I got here. Okay, and then I will use a nice little brush here. Hey Dawn, hey Michelle, and add in a little pop of highlight, and that just kind of is going to help, obviously highlight, but provide some shaping as well. Okay, then what you can do when you have the correct tools is hey Sheila, you can blend just a little bit so that everything just blends together and it's a nice soft look. So, okay, so let's just reel it back a second here, okay? And let's take a look so far at this half of the face that has been done with just my fingers, and this half of my face that has been done with the correct makeup tools. So look at, first of all, the eyebrow hot mess that is going on. My eyeshadow, it is not blended as well. It's too heavy up here. And then just, I'm not getting good even coverage out of the foundation on the side. Whereas this side of my face definitely looks more put together. Things are blending much nicer. So that's our quick recap there. All right, so again, I'm going to wipe my fingers off so that I'm not getting this other shades of makeup all over. And then what I want to do next is I'm going to add some blush. And, well, actually what I would like to do next would be to add some setting powder. Now, the setting powder that I use is a loose powder that you actually just tap in here. That's like a really like little net. So as you can see, that way you don't have to like be tipping it out. So I'm actually going to use this on this half of my face, whereas I'm not going to use it on the other half because, I mean, I just really don't know how I could even try to apply a loose powder on the other half without a giant mess. So we'll just add some setting powder there. Okay. So next, let's actually, before we do blush, let's do some concealer. So we'll do some concealer under the eyes here. 1 to 2 shades lighter under your eyes can help brighten the area, especially if you've got darker circles. That's just something to keep in mind. And you want to go in like a triangle shape, so essentially. Because that's kind of like your natural highlight area. Oh, boy. Okay. I'm serious, you guys. This is... Like, I was hoping that by the time I was done with this, like, it wouldn't be that bad and I could just fix it without taking my makeup off before I have to go to the post office. But, like, clearly that is not even going to be happening. I'm going to have to take all of this off because I don't think I can fix this. Okay. So, that's what your concealer can look like if you don't use the proper tool. Obviously not very good. It doesn't blend in well. Even just trying to use a tapping motion like you would like a blending bud, it just doesn't blend well. Okay, whereas this side, we're going to use that, shoot for the same amount here. And with the blending bud, it actually just like really gives a really nice coverage, and it helps blend very easily because you're just kind of using a pressing motion. And again, staying in that same like V shape. See how much nicer this side looks? My gosh. Okay. Then I will just go and just take a little bit here and blend just a little bit. Okay. Then now it's time to do blush. So this is going to probably be a little scary. Or should I use bronzer? Bronzer or blush? Anybody want to take a vote on that real quick? While you vote, I'll put on a lip product because that will buy me a little time there. How about that? So should I do a blush or a bronzer on my cheeks today? And I wanted to wear a lip stain, so I got to make sure I don't have any gloss or anything. So yeah, for those of you that are watching, go ahead and chime in and let me know if you want me to see a blush or a bronzer today applied with my fingers. Jessica's going blush. Oh, thanks, Jessica. I'm gonna look like a weird little doll by the time this is done. All right, Sheila's going with blush. Come. Michelle says blush. I love this lip stain color, for real. Okay. Okay. Blush it is. All right, let me get my blush. Just a second here. Okay, blush. Where are you? Okay. So blush. All right. Jessica just wants to see me use my fingers for blush. Well, I am pretty sure that I'm going to look like some weird little doll or something. I don't even know. Okay. So blush is what we're going to do. Yeah, them on my finger. I don't even know, like... Oh my god, I am not going to be able to go out in public. I'm not... No joke, the whole thing's going to have to come off. Now, I think if you had... this is a pressed powder blush. I think if you had a sort of a dewy blush or like a stick or in a pinch, I've even used this little like tinted lip balm and blended it back. I think you could probably pull that off with your finger, you know, in a pinch. But definitely for this, this is not, yeah, it's like a little doll. Like I can't even. Okay, so there we have, it's kind of blotchy and uneven for sure, but I mean, I can't really do much more with it. That's it. Okay, so then let's do blush on the other side with a brush. Always want to tap off extra product. Don't blow on your brush. I'm totally guilty having done that before, but really it is a great way to spread bacteria to your brushes because there's good and bad bacteria in your mouth. There just is. It's science, okay? But you don't, good or bad, you don't want that on your brushes. So just make sure that you're not blowing into your brushes. Okay, yes. Much softer look, and it blends much nicer on the brush side. So, yeah, so this is our finger side over here. Okay, so the next one I want to try is just a little bit of highlighter, like a luminizer. And let me get this open. I got this pretty, it's kind of like a gold color, if you can see that. So some people, again, can get away with applying this with their fingers. This wouldn't be, I don't think it would be terrible. I just think it's not going to blend as well. Like, I don't want like a line, you know? And I think that's probably one of the biggest things with using your fingers is it just doesn't blend as well. And so it's really hard to get the right look. And the other thing that I'm absolutely noticing with using my fingers over brushes, I am definitely using more product when I'm using my fingers. It's just, it's not, the look isn't showing up the same, and maybe it's just harder to measure, I guess, too. Okay, so on the highlight, I mean, you can see a little bit, but I used more than I normally would, and as you can see, it's now come down into my blush because I just don't have as good of control over where it's going. I don't know if you can tell on my finger, but see how, even though I only put the highlighter up here on the pad of my finger, as I was applying it, it spread all the way down my finger, which then meant it spread down further on my face, which means I don't have good control over where it's actually applying. So something to keep in mind there. Whereas on this side, grab this fancy little brush and we'll run it through here. Get some on there. I like this little brush. It took me a little bit to get used to it because it's just so light and fluffy. But this is what you can use to apply your highlight. So yeah, very nice and soft. And it doesn't, you know, blend down into your blush. You have good control. So yeah, very, very pretty versus this side. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I've got my makeup set out on the side. So give me a quick comment. Let me know if there's anything else you wanted to see me attempt to apply with my fingers. I could always do some highlighting. I could do some contouring. Yeah, this is not good. So yeah, again, just a quick recap. The brows clearly can't even keep the color where it needs to go. The eyeshadow is clearly not blended near as well, and it's too heavy, especially, you know, in this area. It's way too heavy. My blush, I think, was not like terrible, but it definitely was not spread evenly. and then when I did the highlighter, it just got all gunked up on it. And you can see the concealer is not working well, you know, up here, blending well. Sheila asked if I can try contour. Yes, I can try that. And let's see here. So let me get my little contour palette. Give me 1 second here. Okay, got it. All right. So, you want to see contouring with... All right. Yes, Jessica, tools for the brows absolutely are a must. Like, no joke. Okay. Let me, again, just wipe my fingers off. So this is the makeup remover cloth that I'm using is torn in half from, because I didn't need to use a whole one last night. And so like this is all the makeup though so far today that I've just wiped off my fingers. So again, we were just kind of talking about wasting money and wasting makeup. Using your fingers is a great way to waste money and waste makeup if that's something you're into. So, all right. So contouring, I'm going to be using this color here on the end. Side note, love this highlight and contour palette because it actually like tells you like where you put each color. Like how awesome is that? Okay. So I'm gonna contour. Now this contour is kind of like it's not a powder, it's like a dewy kind of powder, so it's a little different than maybe other stuff. Oh god, other stuff that you've worked with before. So I'm trying to just kind of keep the touch light. So that's not terrible, using that with your fingers. And I think that's more because it is dewy, whereas stuff that's a pressed powder definitely does not blend as well with your fingers, like hands down. Okay. All right, so let's see. Okay, next, let's actually use this nice little tool. Look at that, it's angled perfectly for your little faces. Love it. And it just gives you much better control over how much you actually want to be applying. Because you can, you know, I don't know about you, but like I would, like when I do the contouring, I like a more subtle look. So obviously using a brush is definitely better for creating that subtle look. And you kind of want to come down to about the middle of your pupil down. So you don't want to bring it in too far, but you also don't want to leave it out too far either. You keep it under the cheekbone. So yeah, okay, so there's your brush side. This is your non-brush side. So the contour is not bad. I think, again, that has to deal more with the consistency of the product that you use for that. So that's a good thing. Actually, I'll do a little bit around up here too. Yeah, I love this brush too. It's like, it's so soft and just easy to use. Okay, and then we'll do some contouring on the other side here. Sorry, not meaning to like flip anybody off. Okay. It's almost like it rubs in too much almost when you're like using your fingers. And again, I think that just goes back to using too much product. You just don't have good control over it. And again, now it's run down further on my finger. and now I have like contour color out here. Like, that's not where it goes. Okay. Yeah, that's good today. That's good stuff today. Okay, so I think that will wrap up today's lesson. Obviously, moral of the story here is that using the proper tools to apply your makeup, hands down, makes a difference. It is easier to keep control over your makeup. It is, for me, it's more fun because you kind of feel like a fancy little artist with different brushes and stuff. Like, that's just kind of fun. But it gives you more control. It definitely makes it easier. It's quicker when you use a brush because, again, it gives you more control and you don't have to go back and fix your mistakes as often. And overall, I mean, it looks much nicer. This half of my face is much more smooth than this half of my face. This half just looks kind of blotchy and uneven, and this side here is just has a nice finish to it. You could even at this point, if you wanted, you could go back over with your setting powder again if you want to, just very, very lightly to help blend everything together. But this is, again, I think, no, I still don't have, I forgot that finger. I'm going to show you my makeup remover cloth. So again, this is just half of a cloth, but this is all the makeup that came off of my fingers today from just the half of my face. So think about how much money and time you are wasting by not using the proper tools to do your makeup. So just something to think about. You know, shoot me a message, drop a comment, whatever. Let me know if you have questions about what brushes you should be using for whatever type of product. You know, if you're using a loose powder, what kind of brush do you use? If you're using a cream eyeshadow, what kind of brush do you use? So let me know if you have those kinds of questions. I'm always offering more tips, so feel free to check out my ebook. You can download it for free at juliaolivarius.com/ebook. I'll go ahead and drop that in the comments too, so you guys have that. And yeah, if I can help you in any way, let me know, okay? I'll talk to you later. Oh, and side note, I will be doing a picture for you all as well, so you can see the difference too. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.